All right, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachakodash. Secondly, I want to give double honors to all the elders and apostles throughout the four corners of the earth that's pushing this truth in all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. Also like to give double honors to the head and the elder of the Man in Israel camp, Da'at Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. Also like to give another shout out to you sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this truth in all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. And I also like to give another shout out to you Israelite foreigners that's looking like the other heathen nations cause confusion, coming back to y'all heritage in these last days. And lastly, a quick shout out to you for you out Wathium, you sisters out there that's standing in order and doing Chinese during these last days. Alright, to y'all, I like to say shalom. Alright, now coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim, I will shine with another exhortation video. And I wanted to do a lesson on this video that I saw on TikTok earlier today, before I was going into the plantation. And it's basically a video on the Northern Kingdom Jake that, you know, he seems to be gang banging. But he was basically spitting facts on TikTok, basically saying that, you know, we go through this. He was basically saying we go through the same thing the Negroes go through, man. You know, with all the, you know, police brutality, the way we live, you know, the lifestyle, basically, man. You know, and you know, I was looking at the comments, and you had people in the comments, you know, basically saying, they basically was saying, I never heard that. We're the same as crazy work. We are the same. We just come from a different tribe. All right, we are the nation of Israel, but the Lord got it divided in 12 tribes, man. Right? Which are so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians. You know, which would be like, you know, the Negroes, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, you know, the so-called Mexicans, the so-called Cubans, the so-called Dominicans, the so-called Native Americans, right? So forth on, man. So yeah, man, we the same people, man. But you got people in the comments that saying we're the same as crazy work. I never heard that. What is he talking about? 54 years old, never heard this. And then you got one dude, Trope, that said we brothers, and that's a fact. We are brothers, man. You see? But see, niggas don't know that history. Why? Because the Lord, you know, put it in Esau, you know, to divide us, man. Like it says in Psalms the 83rd chapter. You see, let the nation of Israel be no more remembrance. That was Esau's whole. That was part of Esau's whole goal, man. Is for us to forget who we are as a nation. He wanted to divide us, and he did that, man. That's where they get that whole divide and conquer. They divided us and they conquered us because they understood and they knew that if we came back, they understand that they can't. I mean, well, they got the technology, but they understand when we come back to knowing who we are, that's going to be the end of their kingdom, man. And it is becoming the end of the kingdom because the elect, we coming together first, man. Like it says, man, the Lord said those two sticks going to be joined together. Like it tells you in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, man. All right? That started with the elect, but it ain't going to really fulfill it to the kingdom, man. You know? But yeah, man, you got niggas in the comments lost, man. You know, you maybe had a slight few that said we brothers, man, but you got niggas like him, Black Woman Tears. When did this happen? Nigga, it been happened. You got her saying we definitely the same. Said this is never spoken of, but some of our families did educate us on this. You see, that's why they didn't know, because some majority of the people weren't educated on this type of history, man. You know, they just got the history of we were just slaves. That's it. Not knowing that the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians, we the same people, man. We go through the same struggle, bro. But yeah, let's play the clip, man.
They get hung on trees, just like black people. We're the same. We used to get all the shit. We used to get hung for the dumbest things, homie. For correcting a little white kid on not using bad language, for looking at a white lady wrong. They would take you and hang you on a tree, throw a party, throw a whole barbecue, homie. You know, they're not the only ones that went through slavery and captivity. You know, we actually the ones that went into captivity first, 1492.
Yup. I mean, it's true. I mean, well, but I mean, technically speaking, didn't the Native Americans were the first ones to actually demand reparations? That's why they got land and they got money and they got their reservations, because they demanded that they should at least get
certain ethnicities have banded together to ask for stuff like that, but the only reason why the North American Indian tribes, because they stuck together, bro. Like, you know, they came together. They actually stood their ground. They had shootouts with, you know, law enforcement.
Yeah.
You know, over pipelines and over, you know, them just trying to throw them off the land, homie.
Yeah.
You know, they created their whole policing system, you know, and they don't allow the other sheriffs to come within their land. They'll get arrested, you know.
Yeah.
And that's dope. You know, I feel that we should all have that. You know, I feel that barrios, gang life is a part of policing your barrio.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
We used to get hung on trees, just like black people.
Yep.
We're the same. We used to get all the shit.
He said we're the same, man. So the Lord's starting to put it on these 2/3 to understand that we are the same people, bro. And Esau, he's afraid of that, man. He's afraid for the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians to rise back up and to stand together, man. He don't want to see us united. You see, he want to see us divided, you know. But you ain't gonna be able to stop prophecy, Esau. You're not. You see? And because once the tents of Judah wake up, hey, the rest of the tribe's gonna wake up, man. You see? So Esau, your kingdom is finished. The Lord is putting it on these 2/3 spirits to realize that the so-called Negroes and the Spaniards are the same people, man. Like, matter of fact, you know, I got a Jake that I went to school with. You know, he cut my hair or whatnot. He's starting to cut my hair now because he recently started cutting hair. But anyway, you know, he hang around this Latino, you know, this Mexican, this so-called Mexican. You know, he haven't been over here in the States, in the United States, for over a year, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, you know, he don't speak English. You know, he barely speak English. Like, he don't know English. You know, but they still hang around each other. But you know, the Jake that's cut my hair, I went to school with. You know, he was basically telling me, you know, the Issachar, right, the one that barely speak English. You know, he hang around a lot of black people because he want to learn our culture, and not only that, he want to teach other Mexicans that it ain't bad, it ain't necessarily well truly it is, don't get me wrong, but you know, basically he was saying that, you know, he hang around Negroes, so-called Negroes, just to show other Mexicans that you could trust them, you know. And I was like, wow, you know, that was very spiritual, man, because most Latino, well, so-called Mexicans, they tend to hate niggas, man, you know, vice versa, but more so them, they don't really like niggas, which, you know, we can't really blame them for that. But the reason they hate us ain't because of, you know, the way we act. It's because Esau pretty much, you know, made them hate us, man, you know. But yeah, he was basically saying that Issachar said, he said, oh, and that's another thing too. When he said that, he was like, Issachar said, you know, he hang around Negroes just to show, you know, other Mexicans that's around the neighborhood, it ain't, you can trust them. You ain't gotta hate them. And then he was like, basically he was saying, hey, this is crazy. That's how I knew it was the spirit. Because he was saying, you got other Mexicans hating niggas not knowing that the Lord is black, so-called black. And I was like, wow, you know, like, he really said that. He was like, yeah. He was like, if you hate them, then you hate the Lord. But I don't think he knew that he was an Israelite, you know. But he said that though, man. And I was just like, wow. So basically, you know, he wanted so-called Negroes and the Spanish to come together, you know. And if I'm not mistaken, he said, I don't know why his own people, you know, trust white people more than black people, you know. So I was just like, wow, man, you know. But it goes to show you that the Lord is really starting to putting it in his people's spirit to want to come back together, man, and unite, you know. So let's get these couple of scriptures, man. kick it off with Jeremiah 17:4. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. It says, "And thou, even thyself, should discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a land which thou knowest not. For ye had kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever." You see that? The Lord said we should discontinue from our heritage. You see? That's why, people in the comments was lost. Not knowing that they are our people, because y'all discontinued from our heritage. Y'all didn't know that we was once a nation, man. We was a nation, but we got divided and then we got conquered. But now, the Lord is starting to put it in our spirit to know who we are and to come back and be that one stick. We should no longer be two sticks anymore, man. We're going to be that one stick that's going to be joined together. But yeah, we discontinue from our heritage. That's why people that don't know that type of history that he was saying. And yes, he's correct. They were the first ones to go into slavery, man. They went into slavery in the 1400s, and we went into slavery in the 1600s, man. That's a fact. But niggas don't know that history because they so far gone. And when it says, "For ye had kindled a fire in my anger, which should burn forever," it's not necessarily talking about forever. It's talking about for a period of time, man. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 18. It says, "In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel." Now the house of Judah is talking about the southern kingdom, man. Matter of fact, when it says Judah and the house of Judah, that's talking about Judah from Levi, right, which make up the southern kingdom. And then Israel will make up from Ephraim on down to Issachar. Well, Naphtali on the chart, Ephraim on down to Naphtali, that will represents the northern kingdom, man. So when it says, when it says Jeremiah 3 and 18, "Those days the house of Judah," which is the southern kingdom, like I just explained, and the house of Israel, right? It says the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, which is the northern kingdom, and they should come together. You see, this goes to show you that this is an end time prophecy, because Judah and Israel, they haven't been in the same captivity since Egypt. Ever since then, you had the northern kingdom went into the Assyrian. After the Egypt captivity, they went to the Assyrian. Then they came over here to the Americas. Then when the southern kingdom came out of Egypt, we went into the Babylonian. Then we went to the Persian Medes. Then we went to the Greeks. Then we went to the Romans, and then America. You see, northern kingdom, they only went to the Egypt captivity and the Assyrian captivity, and then came to the Americas. But don't get it twisted. You did have some northern kingdom that stayed and actually went through the Babylonian, the Persian Medes, the Romans, and the Greeks. But for the most part, majority of them was over here already after the Assyrian captivity. And you can read that in the book of 2nd Esdras. If I'm not mistaken, the 13th chapter, they talk about that history. But like it says, in those days, the house of Judah should walk with the house of Israel, and they should come together out of the land of the north to the land that I had given for an inheritance unto your fathers. In the land of the north that it's talking about is North America. You see, Babylon the Great. You see, the Lord's gonna deliver us from the land of the north, America, man, because his people are captives here. We are the same, like he said, man. We the same people, just a different tribe. We come from the same nation, just a different tribe. So you might say you a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah, or you may say you a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Issachar, from the tribe of Naphtali, from the tribe of Levi, from the tribe of Benjamin, from the tribe of Asher, so forth on, man. So when it says this in this verse, the Lord got a nation of a people, and He's coming to deliver us, man. We ain't two different nations. We ain't two different people, man. We the same people. Yeah, I gotta realize that, man. We go through the same curses, like he was saying. We cut from the same cloth, man. Like Jay said saying the word, we cut from the different. We cut from the same cloth. You know, we going through the same problems, man. Now, don't get it wrong. You know, of course, Judah, Southern Kingdom getting worse. Don't get it wrong, but we still go through the same thing, man. You know, we still go through the same thing. So now let's go over to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah of hosts, the children of Israel, which is the northern kingdom, right, and the children of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, were oppressed together." You see, the Lord said we was oppressed together. Now, when you look on the back of a dollar bill, right? Let me pull it up. Alright, slop. Just got off the plantation. When you look on the back of the slop, when you look on the back of the dollar bill, right? It said we was oppressed together. Now, when you look on, you know, when you look at the eagle, that represents Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, because the scripture say his bird was his animal is the eagle, you know. So that represents the so-called white man, right? The eagle. And then on the wing, you know, on the bird's hand, you know, on the left, you got the trees, which represents the Negroes, right? Which, you know, majority of the Negroes was hung on what? Trees. And then on the right, you got the northern kingdom with the bow and arrows. Weren't they known for bow and arrows? Gad especially. You know, the Native Americans, weren't they known for bow and arrows? That represents the northern kingdom. So it says, and that symbolizes them having this in their hands, you know? So it said, oh shit. It said, man. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together." You see, we're going through slavery together. Because like I said, we haven't been in the same captivity together since, you know, Egypt, you know? Because like I was explaining earlier, you had, you know, after the northern kingdom went through the Egypt captivity together with us, they went through, you know, the Assyrian, and then came to the Americas. When the Negroes got out of Egypt with the northern kingdom, we went through the Babylonian, you know, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, and the Romans, you know? And now it's saying we're going to be oppressed together, showing you that this is a future prophecy. Because this verse happened after Egypt. You know, when Jeremiah wrote this verse, he was in the Babylonian captivity, man. You see? So this had to be talking about now. Because who else is being oppressed with us? The so-called Mexicans. Look how they being treated, man. Right? Trump telling them they need to be deported when truly this is their land. And the scriptures tell you not to remove thy neighbor's landmark. You see? This is their land, you know? Northern Kingdom. They was here first, man. And then you remember that year Donald Trump had them put in cages, right? So they going through the same struggles we going through, man. Like I said, Southern Kingdom just get it worse. Particularly, you know, the Negro tribe, Judah, you know. And then it says, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. You see that? They refused to let them go. We under their hand. You see, we under their subjection, man. You see that? Now let's get a quick curse, and we're gonna close it out, because we both going through this curse right here, man. You know, and there's many more, but you know, I'm getting ready to end it. You know, Deuteronomy 28:37, it says, "And thou should become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord Yahweh or Yahweh Shah shall lead thee." You see? You see that? It said we should become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. they call the Hispanics, the so-called Hispanics, they call them, Hispanics, right? Mexicans, wetback, right? When they call the Negroes, nigga, Negro, Afro-American, colored, we get called all type of monkey. we get called all type of bad words and, proverbs, all type of names that besides what the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah gave us, man. That's the curse we both go through, man. Right? We go through, having to speak our oppressors' language, because, especially for you so-called Negroes, man, not Negroes, Hispanics, y'all swear Spanish is y'all language. Spanish is not y'all language. The only reason y'all speak Spanish is because the Spaniards conquered y'all, man. And that's why y'all speak Spanish. Y'all originally spoke Hebrew. And it's proven, too, that, the so-called Mexicans spoke Hebrew. That's how we know. That's part of the reason we know that they are so-called Mexicans. I mean, not so-called. That's how we know that they are, in fact, Hebrew Israelites. Because you had that stone, I believe it's called like the Los Lunicus stone, if I'm not mistaken. When the stone was written in Hebrew. And even over there in Puerto Rico, they found, Hebrew writings over there. That's how we know the Puerto Ricans had to speak Hebrew. And that's how we know the Negroes are Hebrews, because the first black church in America had Hebrew writing on the pews, man. How? If we never were Hebrew Israelites, how the hell can we write in this language? Why is this found if we not Hebrews, bro? How can we write in a language that we never was, man? Make it make sense. You see? So with that, man, we're going to end it. Lord willing, this video was edifying. And I'm going to close it with giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rechakwadash. Shalom till next time. Shalom.